Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it.
Happy
Oh,
to
I
be
like the
here.
art behind you.
Oh, thanks.
That's
This
so
is what,
fun.
and the boxes. I have an install coming up, so
Right?
this
That's
is
life,
life.
isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, well, my office has been a complete wreck up until I think this weekend, and now it's just half a wreck. So, and I don't even have an install as an excuse, but oh, thank you. Now let me ask you something. Have I prepped you or paid you to be here?
Nope.
Awesome.
Unfortunately
Okay.
not.
I know, right? Sure would be good to do the little bit of moonlighting. Let me
Right.
just stop it here. Okay. Where are you located?
I'm in Dallas area.
You are
So
in Dallas. Have we
I
met?
am. We met like last year at Dallas Market. I had just signed up and I met you like that day.
Yeah, girl, we
But it
did.
was really quick.
I totally remember that. Yes,
Yeah,
because
I'm in Keller, South Lake area.
I just moved to Colleyville.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Get out of
yeah. So get out of
town.
town, literally. So you can see I'm still
Oh
unpacking.
my
My
gosh.
office has been such a wreck.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Colleyville's
We're neighbors
beautiful.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a great spot. I'm super tickled to be here.
Yeah.
Super tickled to be here. We'll have to connect.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of
Okay.
bakers around here, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's super fun.
Mhm.
We can just have like a little mid-cities type of reunion.
Right. Yeah. Well, you used to be out in Addison or you're and so that's why
I,
I didn't meet you because it was like too far
it's a
from here,
haul.
which is you
Yeah.
live in a bubble, you don't leave like 5 mile radius around here.
I
So it's
totally
just
get it. Yeah. No, my studio's in Addison, so
yes. Yeah.
it's a thing. All right. So how long have you been in the bakery or when were you in the bakery?
I started, I guess, last August and finished last
So you
month.
just wrapped up.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Hmm.
where were you in your business last August and where are you today? Just in general terms, whether it's client projects, revenue, whatever, however
Okay.
you describe it.
I would say last year before I started the bakery, I was just retail decorating.
Yeah.
So I was getting jobs, but everything was retail. And I was getting I guess I was doing the receiving at the house all by
Mhm.
myself.
That's
So
exhausting.
yeah, and I was undercharging, just to get a start. And I did get a start. I mean, hey, people are happy to pay little
Yeah,
amounts.
absolutely.
And then I was like, I just don't know if I want to pay the money to do the bakery, but it felt like exactly what I needed. And then my husband said, well, if you don't invest in your business, who will? And I was like,
Ooh,
that's a good point.
thanks, hubby.
So yeah. So then when he said that, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And now I'm doing mostly to the trade. I'm using a receiver, which is life changing.
Yes,
I
yes.
had my first major install in July with like movers, the whole thing. I made him move the rug 3 times, pick up a sectional. I mean, it was like, yeah, it was just
It's
life
like a
changing.
grown-up
I've
business.
leveled up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like a real business. And I'm at the point where I'd like to hire some help now because even though I've got a lot of help from running it as a larger
Yeah.
scale, it's still like I need a Hallie in my life like you have.
We all
So
need a Hallie. Let me tell you,
yeah,
if I
yeah,
could transfer her over to my design business, like clone her, like duplicate
right,
and transfer her over here.
right,
It's like in Canva, duplicate and transfer.
right.
Like, I hear you.
Exactly.
That I can appreciate. Well, we can talk offline, and if I have any referrals, I can share that with you.
Oh my gosh, I would love
Yeah.
that. And just to hit on revenue, that is another thing. I think I was like, I would say in the thousands of dollars before, maybe tens of thousands. And I would say 10 times what I'm making now.
Oh, that's
So off
fantastic.
of like one job. It's not necessarily having a bunch of jobs,
Hmm.
but having big jobs that just take time. And so it's been a nice steady flow from the furnishing, construction, design, all the things that you taught me how to run the business processes.
Oh, I love that.
Um, yeah, so it's been really, really good.
I absolutely love that. So I don't want to say you're working less, but you're working smarter because you're not having to
Right.
juggle all of those little projects in order to make the money.
Right. Yeah, I'm focusing now on stuff like getting my software in line and trying to get business processes so they're all perfect so I can
Yeah,
scale up.
I
That's the
totally
goal.
understand that. Good, good, good,
Yeah,
good.
you would.
Yeah. Yes, because it'll age you quickly if you're
Yeah,
doing that. Um,
right.
how did you get this client, the, like some of your leads?
Okay, so I posted on a Facebook moms group. I mean, there's one in our area. It has, I think it had about 10,000 women in it when I started, and I think it's up to like 20,000 women.
Wow.
And I posted in another local Facebook group as well that had a lot of people. And it's a great way to reach people that just moved to your area and they
Yeah.
are just
Well,
looking.
and it's free. So it's not like you have to pay
Yeah,
or anything.
yep. Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
honestly, just networking has been
Oh,
another
good. That's what we
huge.
talked about yesterday, is that you really have to get out there and meet people face to face.
Yeah, and it's in the most unexpected places. Like I was playing pickleball or I was in a sauna and people are just talking like, what do you do? Hey, I'm actually looking for that. And then it turns into a virtual meet and greet. So
That's
yeah.
awesome, right? So it's like, that's what we covered yesterday. It's like you can do intentional networking groups. You can do, oh shoot, there was something else. And then there was also just like, what are your hobbies and your passions?
Yeah. That's worked for me the best, to be honest.
Yeah.
I haven't even joined IDS yet, which I want to,
Oh
just to start
yeah.
networking with other designers a little bit more in the area. But yeah, I would say mostly it's just been your
Oh, that's
friendly neighbors.
fantastic. Yeah. So Hallie's joking. Y'all thought we made that up yesterday. No, it works.
Oh,
It totally works because we covered that yesterday. Uh,
yeah, it really works.
so Shanice, yeah, when you say posted, some groups are really strict. Did you offer your services or just introduce yourself in the Facebook group? You're right. Some groups let you promote yourself. Some groups don't. Some groups say just like once a month or whatever the case may be. So I generally try to check with the admins before getting removed.
Yeah, I would say they do like a Thursday business day or something. So I just post on the day they say you can. And luckily I was hit up a few times from that one post. I think it was like 25 times I got reached
Wow.
out to. And like I think two of them actually came to be
Mm-hmm.
clients after that. So
Cool. Yeah, you
yeah.
can't beat that. You can't beat
Yeah.
that.
Not bad.
So tell me about the community that you have met through the bakery.
Okay, so I went to Dallas Design Week last year and I
Mhm.
met two other bakers that had just started in August. And I met somebody who had started a year before that actually lives here as well, Whitney DiGiovanni. You might remember
Yes.
her.
Mhm.
And I have now gone to the Las Vegas market with those two designers I met that started at the same time as me. They're both based in Austin. So it's just amazing. Like I've reached out to somebody in San Antonio. I reached out to somebody that's in Michigan, I think, or Minnesota.
Mhm. Mhm.
And just like when you're feeling anxiety about running your own business or whatever, like
Yeah.
Michelle, your classes are great, but you're a busy woman. So it's really nice to have this network of other people at the exact same spot that
Yes.
you're in, because as much information as you've given us, you're really not in the same spot we're in, you know? So it's
Mm-mm.
great. You get kind of like a graduating class that you get to be
Yes.
friends with.
And I think that's the fun thing. Did you go through the rolling in the dough workshop?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what so we're doing this again. It's a different content workshop, but we have the workshop pricing and the opportunity to start with a cohort versus like just jumping
Nice.
in between workshops and so forth. So that's what you're talking about, is that
Oh.
you do have people who start at about the same time as you and
Mhm.
are similar paths in business. Because yeah, you know what? I'm teaching this shit after doing it for 16 years.
Right.
We're at different points. I still remember the pain,
Right.
but having that same level of anxiety, I have different anxiety.
Right. Right.
So I think
Right.
community has been such an unexpected bonus
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
my vision.
Yeah, because going to those trade shows as like a single designer, you know, and just a standalone and you feeling like you're too little to do anything,
Yeah.
it's actually amazing for your business. You're never too little. And just having a couple people with you to walk through the stores and
Mhm.
stuff, it just helps immensely. Like I can't
Yeah.
even, yeah, it was worth it.
Absolutely agree with, because I think being a business owner is lonely,
Mhm. Yeah,
and especially a
which
smaller
is
business owner, because here you are at your house. It's like, who are you going to
right.
commiserate? You're
Right.
My dog.
Yeah. Even my dog's in the other room. Yeah.
Quit your bitching.
Yeah.
I'm tired of
Right.
listening to you, Michelle.
No, it's so true. It's so true. I mean, I think having those people, and then you realize through social media and stuff, you're going to have them for such a long time, as long as you stay with it. And, it's like you can succeed as long as you keep trying and keep moving forward.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, you can succeed. How far, so if you could guesstimate, you spent 1 year in the bakery, how far ahead in your business do you feel like it moved you?
I think you said like 5 years or something of
That,
learning in one
mhm,
year. And I think that's pretty accurate. Like
yeah,
there's a certain level of you couldn't possibly learn some stuff until you actually experience it and like
mhm,
start ordering furniture yourself and seeing it and whatnot, like getting
right.
custom stuff done, right? But everything that you offer definitely is stuff that would have taken me years to learn. I probably would have quit my business before I probably would have given up because I'm like not making enough money.
What were you
So
charging before?
like 1,300 a room.
Hmm.
But then I mean I was shopping at Home Goods, I was shopping at West Elm, I was going, to all these places. And then by the time you're installing it, you're putting it all, and then you're doing your returns, your time spent
Yeah.
is way undervalued at that. Like
Yeah.
way. Like
Yeah.
I would have just been better at home and spent less money and gas.
Yeah. And Muna asked, what was the 1,300 for? Was that your design fee?
Yeah, my design fee. And
Hmm.
then I made nothing on like furniture because I mean, even 20% at Pottery Barn or something it's just not really like the amount you spend doing the math for that is like pretty much taking up the time that you made, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
It's
Like,
not sustainable.
yeah,
I was doing the same thing. I was charging back in the day, it was 75 bucks an hour shopping at Home Goods. And
mm,
then if the item at Home Goods was 25, $25, then I could charge 50 for this.
right.
Thinking that that was
Yeah. And I didn't
sustainable.
even know that. Like I didn't even know that. And
Mhm.
I was even collecting things, being the receiver at the house. And
Yeah.
then if there's an issue with something, which there is, stuff gets delivered and it's broken, then I was managing that too and returning it. And it just was so
Yeah.
much time. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that,
So
yeah, I'm so glad you've got your sanity back.
yeah. I mean, kind of. No, I'm kidding.
But that's part of the charm. You
No,
can't
yeah.
have full sanity and be a business owner.
Absolutely. You can't. But you
That's
can have
not
full
likely.
control with like your time, which is really, really nice. I'm a mom to two younger girls. So it's just like that's what I wanted out of this job. And
That makes
that's what I'm
sense.
getting.
How
Yeah.
old are your kids?
They're 5 and 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do have your hands full.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good though. They're really good.
Phew.
It's just, yeah,
So
it's nice
how
to have
much?
the balance.
Yes, yeah, and just knowing that your business is handled makes such a difference.
Because I was in corporate America before starting my own business, and I have actually an accounting degree. Um, so completely different route.
Funny. Who did
And
you work for?
I work for an oil and gas company
Hmm.
in Denver. So
Oh, that's hilarious. I used to be a recruiter for accountants.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I
I had
probably
that.
should have been in recruiting more than, yeah, accounting,
It's a
but
small world. It's a small world.
yeah.
So, and I see a couple questions, Alicia and Allegra. Thank you. I will get those for sure. But I wanted to ask you, when you were in the bakery, how much time did you dedicate to the bakery? Like, let's just say per day, per week. How did that flow for you?
Okay. Well, I'm probably not the best student, but I did take what I needed from the bakery. Like
Good.
I went in and I went to the sections that I was specifically looking for.
Mhm.
And when I tell you it got me my first huge job. I mean, and then once I got that job, I was off and running and then like kind of referencing back to the bakery because I didn't have time to
Yes.
like put as much time as I thought I would into the bakery. But at that point, it didn't matter because I was like, I already made more than you said I would, like
Yeah.
you're like, you'll make your money back in a few months. And I'm like, I made it back in like 2 months. It was
Holy
two
crap, that's
months.
amazing. Yes.
It was amazing. And it was
And
all because of your presentations, because of the
Mhm.
scope of work. I don't know how much supposed to give away, but like
No, you're good. Yeah.
seriously, it was like really like I'm just not that much of an organized person.
Mhm.
So to put it from A to Z and like if you do these steps,
Right.
it will get you a client. it makes so much sense. Like, I can't even tell you, I just got another client yesterday. Same thing, virtual meet and greet. They reached out to me. I haven't even like, I was like, look, I'm not available till November, basically. And it went really well. Like, I didn't ask them, like, what's your style? Like, I was starting with all the wrong things.
Yeah.
And your bakery says, like, keep it to the business processes. This is how I run my business. Let me tell you
Mhm.
about me. And that people are like, that's what we want. That's what we want. We want an organized process with
Yeah.
unexpected costs along the way. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Mhm.
really amazing. So,
Well,
yeah.
it's because professionals hire us.
Yes.
Professionals
And
hire
that's who you
professionals.
want. Those are my ideal clients, are
Yeah.
professionals, working people, because I don't want the stay-at-home moms, no offense, but like
Yeah.
sometimes they're like, wait, I want my hand in everything. And then it's like,
No,
it's
lady, you have too much time.
right,
Yeah.
right. So yeah, those are
Okay,
exactly.
so I love hearing that you jumped in and out where you needed it. I actually, so the coach who taught me how to set this up, that's what I
Mhm.
did with her content. It's like I jumped in,
Oh,
took what I needed, and then once I had some breathing room, I could go back and add some more polish and figure it out.
right.
So that's cool. Okay, so Alicia is asking, and some of this we're going to get to in our training today. So I might not. So Alicia, Allegra, and Anna, if I don't ask her the question specifically, it's because I'm about to teach this. So Alicia says, do you have a design fee for the room and then a fee on top for purchasing items, or does that fee include everything? It's a design fee and then purchases. Are you
Yeah.
charging procurement, Lindsay?
Yes, I charge
Good,
procurement. Yeah.
good, good, good.
Because you said like some people want cheaper furniture or something, and like if you're having to build the furniture, it takes more time. So then you
Yeah.
should have a higher procurement fee
Mhm.
covering your time to get that. So
All the
yes.
things. Good. How do you collect money from the trade company when you don't handle procurement? So Allegra, I'm not sure I understand that question, but we will talk about that here in some of my content. So I might answer it for you in a background way. Anna says, you're the best. I can relate to that nowadays. How much are you charging and how? Fee, are you charging a flat fee? Are you charging hourly? And are you charging by room?
I do the flat fee, which is how you kind of taught it. I don't know if you've changed it. I mean, it depends on the job, but I would say I try to stay with a fixed rate at all times, just because it's one less thing I have to worry about. I don't really track my hours as well as I should. So don't
You got
listen
to
to me
work
on
on
that.
that so that you have your data.
I know. But that being said, I'm charging more. So
Yes, I know. It's a good thing. You're still coming
um,
out ahead as an accountant. I'm sure you're cross-referencing
right.
that.
Yeah. I charge around 4 to 7 a room. And that's for furnishing. And then I charge procurement. I did one lump fee for like what was a job that covered
Good.
several different rooms and phases. And then I charge hourly for anything off scope of work, or I addend it. I create an addendum as needed. Uh, but yes, I've charged
Okay.
a lot of hourly. I mean, the whole scope of work thing and being very clear on your charges and saying, if it's not listed here, it's not getting done. And if you ask for it, I'm going to charge for it,
Yes.
is huge.
Good. Good, good, good. How much are you charging when you do hourly?
150 an hour, but
Okay.
I'm debating upping that a little
So
because
with
you want to
that,
steer people away from hourly, if that makes sense.
yes, here's what I would suggest. I would suggest, let's say they say, hey, I want, they hire you for the scope of work, and then they say, what about this or what about this? Estimate how many hours and then charge them that flat fee. But don't use 150, use like 200 or 250 as your flat fee.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
and then basically, you're also gathering some data there because you can say, oh, for the staircase, I spent 10 hours at this amount. That's $2,500.
Mhm.
And then you're starting to say, okay, flat fee. Like our powder baths, I think are like 2,900 right now.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we've just kind of compiled about how long it takes, but we use an elevated hourly rate because the more times you do it, the faster you get.
Yes.
So if you keep charging 150 and it took you 10 hours, but now it only takes you 8 hours, you're hosing yourself.
Right. No, that's a really solid point. I'm
Cool.
still kind of newer on the construction. I'm new to it all, but like the furnishing definitely takes a lot of time, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it
Just
does. There's a lot
Yeah.
of moving parts that go in there.
Yeah. So I agree with you, and accepting your funds up front is everything.
It's not the Bank of Lindsay.
Right. Yeah. Like get that money, get it.
Yes. Have you created a minimum design
I
for your?
haven't done that yet, but I have turned away people in a virtual meeting, like
Mhm.
by just kind of lightly steering them away from me and saying I really only do full service design. So that's a tricky one. But when people are like, I think one of the bakers said this, but they said, and I loved this, that if they have like half of their living room done, they're like, we really just want like a new coffee table and like some decor.
Mhm.
Well, that's not really a moneymaker client. Let's be real. It's not
Mhm.
great for business. And it's also not your vision. So she
Uh-huh.
was like, would you ask a painter? Like, would you give a painter a painting half done and ask him to finish it? Like,
Right.
so she said, I start rooms from I begin rooms start to finish or whatever. Sorry, my
Yeah.
words. But
Well,
and I
yeah,
thought that
because
was
what
a
if it's an
great.
ugly couch that they already had?
And
Like you
it
gotta make it
usually
look pretty.
is.
Yeah. And then they're disappointed with what you delivered because but that you had to work with the couch. It's like,
And they're telling people you did it when you didn't do the whole thing. So their friends and whoever might say, oh, okay. Like they come
she
over for
chose
a
that
party.
sofa. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not everybody can do that. And like
Mhm.
you have to just take it with a grain of salt. But I think it's something to consider.
Yeah. And I will say that when you're starting your business, sometimes you have to take anything. Like and you've got to take it on the chin. It's just you have to pay the bills. And then you can get a little more sophisticated and a little more choosy.
Yeah, 100%. And I did have a client that I fought back and forth before I started the bakery who was like, I said, hey, if you want like your front door design and you want this room, this is how much it would be. And they chose one room. And then they were like, what color should we paint our front door? And I was like, you didn't pay for that. So, I mean, I get that you're new and you're starting your business, but you do have to stand up for yourself because I always put it this way, it's time away from my family that
Mhm.
I'm doing free work for somebody else. It doesn't really make any sense. So when you put it as I'm taking this out of my personal life and it's not propelling me in the right direction,
Mhm.
you need to be asking yourself those questions.
I love that. I love that. Well, Lindsay, if you could leave the audience with any piece of advice, thoughts, or whatnot, they're sitting here thinking, okay, we've got some people who've had some experience in business, we've got some newbies. What would you tell them about joining the bakery?
Um, I think it was the difference between me doing this for my job for the next 20 years and not. So I would highly recommend it. And there's just so many resources. And not only that, but you meet so many other people through the bakery. There's more coaches, there's more people that you refer us to. It's a great web of education that you can just keep learning and, take each step as you're ready for it. And I'm still trying to like consider my next coach or whatever. It's like, what's my next move? But still, I would absolutely hire another coach and go through this again.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Well, reach out. I can give you referral. I can potentially talk to you about who hire new hires and also different coaches that I know.
Okay.
So
Sounds great.
happy to do that. So thank you
Okay.
for being here. I
Yeah.
so very
Thanks for
much
having
appreciate
me.
it.
And
Yeah,
thank you for the
absolutely.
bakery.
Thanks for trusting us. It's very much
See
appreciated.